happens and as it does. And just having that attitude of thankfulness can just make such a difference.
You have to operate in your own grace. It does not matter if 1,000,001 people are doing what you do. God has given you a special grace to be able to walk it out.
This is yet another altar. I have so many altars that I have to remind myself of God. And now when I am weary and I can't take this life anymore, this is another altar that I will remind myself of that I have built up with God.
See, praising Him while you're going through the situation shows a level of belief, shows a level of faith, shows that you know that He's going to make a way out of no way. Listen, whatever you're going through right now, I want you to praise Him now and believe like it's already done.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shenee Shares Live. I am Shenee Woodson, and I am going to tell you all that we are waiting for our guests backstage. If they are not here, then I invite you all to just have a conversation with me. Put things in chat, any comments that you have, anything you want to talk about. So we won't be too long if or they get on. I see Michael has just came on backstage. So what we're going to do before I get him on, I'm actually going to show the promo again for those of you who are just joining us, just so that you can get a glimpse of what we have entailed. Hey, Kiki, I see Pastor Kiki online. That is my buddy. She will actually be on in a few weeks as well. We have a special edition for individuals who have been incarcerated, and they are grinding. They are hustling. They're doing their thing. They're pastors, owners, entrepreneurs, you name it, and they did not let being behind bars stop them. And Dr. Linda will be on that show too. Hi, Dr. Linda. Both individuals who are going to be on that particular show. I'm excited. However, we have a few more shows before that special edition. And before I bring this gentleman on, I do want to share the promo again with you all, just in case you missed it, because I think it's very important that you see what we have entail. Okay. She said hand pink, waving pink. Kiki, Pastor Kiki. I got to be mindful to say Pastor Kiki. All right. Got to be mindful that I say that. So play the clip again, and I'm going to bring our first guest, Michael Norton, who is very special. Someone that I actually knew when I was in middle school. Okay, go figure. He went to Woodlawn Middle School. Those of you who are from Baltimore, Woodlawn Middle School is the school that we both went to. But let me play the clip again, and I'm going to bring him right on. Thank you for joining us. All right, everyone. If you see at the bottom of your screen, I am asking you all to share. Shenee shares. Okay. So I need you all to do like I do and just share on your social media platforms. Again, we are brand spanking new. I'm not new to this. I'm not new to the media scene. Okay. But I'm new with putting out Shenee Shares. So I appreciate the feedback thus far. Okay. If you missed last week's episode, I was actually being interviewed by my big brother, Corey Taylor, phenomenal person, and I'm so excited to have him interview me. So if you want to catch that, it's the replay. If you're on YouTube, just click it. Facebook, same thing. Pastor, I got a lot of pastors today. Pastor Rissa, okay, thank you for joining me as well. So what I'm gonna do now is bring on my guest, Michael Norton. I don't want to take up too much of his time before our other guests come on. So Mike, come and join me, please. Good. Hold on. There we go. Oh, he's getting himself together.
Can you hear me?
Getting himself together. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Can y'all hear? Okay, we're interacting here. But I can hear you. I see you got two devices.
Okay.
Yeah, having a little lag.
Just working.
You. Working. We got a little lag on you though. There we go. Talk to us. Hold on. Gotcha. We good. Gotcha.
We good now?
Gotcha. We good now. Mike, how are you?
I'm good. Sir? Working. I was doing some work for the business, man. Just trying to get a couple things done, before the night's over with. That's all.
Oh, I understand. That's what it's about. Entrepreneurship. We're talking about resilience, all that stuff that it entails. So I am excited to have you here. You are the CEO of Madison Snacks. Talk to us. How did you come about, first of all, wanting to put out snacks?
It's my background of being in route logistics. And I just took everything I learned from where I worked at Pepsi, Coke, FedEx. I put it all together in the melting pot, and it led me this way. I had always wanted to be in a business since the age of 23, but the opportunity came at the right point in my life, and from there I just kind of took off and been growing every day.
Wow. And you just said been growing every day. How important is that, even as an entrepreneur, to understand that you have to constantly grow?
Well, number one, when you decide that you want to become an entrepreneur, you can't be afraid to fail, because it's going to happen. Failure comes a part of this, but it's also a test to see how much can you withstand and how long you want to hang in there. If you're passionate about what you're doing and you're knowledgeable in education and you're knowledgeable about what you're doing, as well as educated, it'll all come through. But again, it's all about staying the course and not being afraid to fail. And every loss is a lesson. You know what I mean? Learn from it and move forward. I mean, remember one thing: only person that can fire you is you. So my livelihood is in my hands. So I take it very seriously every day. And I get back up and I make a lot of mistakes, but I get back up and do it again because I'm passionate about what I do.
Love it. And speak to the audience about passion and how important it is to, have passion. Because at times, people say, I'm passionate about this, but you see them, it dwindles away. Something happens in life and, that you see them on fire and all of a sudden, that fire is gone for some reason. But because this platform is all about being resilient, how important does passion play into you being resilient?
Look, being humble, passionate, and loving what you do will take you further than making a dollar. You got to stay on track no matter what. You got to keep coming up with more creative ideas, and you got to, most importantly, love this thing when it doesn't love you back. And that's all about, again, staying the course, being humble, and going through the lessons that being an entrepreneur has taught me. I mean, my fire has not burned out yet, and I don't see it burning out anytime, any soon. I'm thriving every day. As a matter of fact, like you said, I was on the laptop trying to do a couple things, man, and I look at a couple emails about some new opportunity. You know, I let me tell you how passionate I am about this. You know, I've been through 3 work trucks. I mean, I should have left a long time ago. And there was
Wow.
a point in time where the financing was terrible and no money was coming. So I should have left a long time ago. But my passion for being in business is just it's that high.
Wow. Love it. And kept going because like I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. No, resilience. I'm learning so much of the power of it behind it, not giving up. And I think of the story of the gentleman who was digging and digging and digging, and he gave up because he got tired of digging. I'm not finding any diamonds. So right, and then all of a sudden someone else comes along, digs in that same spot, and they hit the diamonds. Okay, because they kept going. So I definitely applaud you. Okay, anybody who has that type of stamina and just knows that, regardless, I'm gonna keep going because the diamonds are there. They're there. I want to briefly, I just want to show everybody Madison snacks because I think they need to see, and I want to ask you a question after we show this little slide here.
Oh
That
wow.
there, ladies and gentlemen, that is real. Okay, when he said his snacks are everywhere, where are they now, Mike?
um the latest move was on Pennsylvania Avenue right after I did the Shawnee B. Christ show. What
Mm,
you saw right there when we started out in the beginning, and this is what I mean by being passionate and humble, nobody believed in us. And they had us on a black rack with a sign up, and they had us in the back of the stores. But I hung in there and showed them that I'm a person of integrity. And so now they moved us. Now I got prime time location in every gas station and every corner store. And when you go into your independent supermarkets, we're in the candy aisle and we're going up against the M&Ms, the Skittles, the Werthers, the Hershey's Kisses, and we blowing them out the box, man. And that's not
wow,
to
wow,
brag,
wow.
but we're doing the volume, yeah. So
Mhm.
now we just become a necessity. Like you need bread, milk, and eggs. You need Madison snacks to unwind. You know what I mean?
I love that. We are a
Yeah, yeah.
necessity.
Salute, salute, salute.
You need us. You need
Yeah,
our snacks. You need your daily bread.
yeah. There you
Love that.
go.
That's a commercial, Mike. I
Yeah, we
love
gonna
it.
we gonna shoot. Yeah, a commercial coming, man. Commercial coming. A
Now
commercial is definitely in
I
the
want to
works.
get a little bit of acting in. So Shenee's over here. Hello.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be the
Matter.
background.
You know what? You know what? I might need you. I might need you to sit on the couch, watch TV, and eat some I don't know, some twin cherries or the sour worms or something.
I'll
you
eat
know?
something. Get my
Yeah,
cameo. I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
We definitely need it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to also talk to you about because you're a father as well. So how being a father and a business owner, how are you balancing all that?
It's a terrible one, and
Mm,
that's truthful because you have to understand something. This is my livelihood, and it's on the line every day I step outside the home, and I'm gonna put long days in every day until I exhaust myself because the job is never done. I could get off this phone with you tonight and phone calls will come through. I mean,
mm,
I'm getting a little better, but not a lot. I make sure I take off Wednesday and her and I go out on a date because she has a
oh,
half a day of school. But I mean, as far as me, walking her to school and everything, I mean, I take her to school and walk her to the classroom. I'm never gonna stop doing that. I mean, that's my first goal to be a father before I do anything, and I love it. But the balance, it's a juggling act. It's a tough
mm.
one.
And I want to piggyback on something in regards to you saying you started at 23. Now prior to that, you saying, hey, I want to start this business and I want to get on my grind. Was there anything that kind of like before that kind of set you back that you probably like maybe it's not going to work or it is going to work or you doubted yourself at a certain point
I
before?
I worked full time and I picked up a part time job at FedEx because I wanted to go independent there originally. That was my original goal, to go there, get the technology, and I had an idea to set up the basement as a HUD where packages could be dropped off, shipped, delivered. I could pick up from there and go from there. But I think at 23, I was just too young. I mean, I
Mm.
didn't realize the amount of time that you got to spend in business. It's no such thing as an 8 hour day. You can forget it. I
Wow.
mean, anybody that does it in an 8 hour day, God, you must be already established and settled, because in my world, it's long days, long nights, and as and I have to be very candid with you. I mean, it wears and tears on you, but again, that's when the passion kicks in. You like, look, you know what? I'm still building. I'm creating. I planted all these seeds with healthy water and sunlight. I just got to
Mm.
keep going no matter what.
Hmm. And I'm glad you even said that, because it makes me think about, just asking you, how are you incorporating self-care? Because we hear so much about self-care, how important it is. But I tell people all the time, even when I'm teaching my managing stress class, I'm like, even though we're practicing self-care, self-care still isn't selfish. It's still not about you. You're practicing self-care so you can continue to pour out to people.
Um,
So what are you doing as far as your self-care regimens?
well, anybody that knows me knows I'm up early. I do get a 2 mile jog in
Mm.
because the weather's been good. If not, I'm in the gym, and after the gym, I hit the sauna. That's pretty much my self care. I mean, I like being up early because when I take the jog in the morning, it's nobody out there. So that's just a good time to get the fresh air in you, and just think and work out your day before the sunlight comes up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And last but not least, I'll have a cigar, to unwind when the day's over. So I definitely take good care of myself.
Good, good. And I think that's very important, especially, just doing so much and taking care so we don't experience burnout, etc. And I see some comments here that I want to acknowledge. We got Eric Gray. How are you, sir? He said, my man been building. He said, my
Oh
man
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah, man.
building.
That's that. I tell you the good part about building. Only I can tear it down. I can't get in trouble unless I don't do the wrong or right thing. So I'm in a real good place business wise, and to anybody out there, you know, I guess my goal is to inspire myself as well as anybody. Look, this thing can be done, but again, you have to hang in there. You
Mm.
definitely have to hang in there, and you have to be prepared to fail, because it's gonna happen. But just shake it right off. I mean, just it'll come. Listen, just keep feeding it a lot of water and sunlight and watch it grow. Trust me, that's my testimony to anybody.
Love it. And I have Pastor Rissa. She's gonna be on next week, no, week after next, everyone. And she's on showing some support. She said that's real. Everything you're saying, she's saying that's real. She also said that's awesome. You got a lot of pastors on here, Mike. You got a green from Pastor
Man,
Kiana.
I hope. Yeah, look, they must know I need saving. They must know I need some help. But they
No,
must.
no, 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 no.
But I'm
The
gonna tell you
green.
the good part. I'm gonna get real for a minute. Here's what's good. My name is Michael Ignatius Norton III. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. My grandfather took it to a level. My dad took it to one level, and now it's all on me to make it all happen. And I think
Wow.
that's been great, because behind closed doors, I work with my dad every day, and it's a blessing to be with him when he's on the truck and when we're doing deals together. And it's not so much about us making money. I'm just enjoying all the knowledge that he gives me and spending time with my best friend. And you can't shake that. I mean, to keep a family
Mm.
tradition going, and not to sell out on it, because there's an opportunity to sell. I've learned a lot, and I want it that way, and I plan on doing the same with my daughter. So,
Okay.
again, outside of what everybody sees, I am a family person. I love my family to death. I love them, because if not for them, this whole operation gets shut down, and it's
Mm.
it's them that keeps me going. But that's just a little family, history and everything. But yeah,
That's good.
other than that, I'm happy. I really am. I'm in a good place in my life.
Mike, and that's what it's about. And you got a comment from Pastor Rissa. She said, encouraging you to keep going, and you have to stay focused on the goal. Love his mindset. She loves your mindset there.
And
Loving the
and
support today. I love it. I love it. Love it.
and definitely,
I
I also want to congratulate you. And this is what I want to say. Every podcast that I have gone on, and every year and every season, my business has increased. I don't get a lot of likes and comments and thumbs up, but somebody out there is listening to me, and my sales are through the roof, and the phone is jumping off the hook. And I gotta thank everybody that has a podcast, because you reach out to the social worker, the teacher, the mompreneur, the dad, the whoever's out there to have a story to be told. But for me, you guys have really believed in me, and you've gone to the stores and went out there and brought. And from my family to yours, we appreciate that. We honestly appreciate that.
love it. Love it. Now, and I love how you talk about your grandfather and father. So I want to talk about legacy and how important that is to you. Because you even said, you're teaching your daughter. In this day and age, we're hearing a lot of people talking about, leaving a legacy, especially in the Black community. Okay. How important is that, even as an entrepreneur, or if you're not an entrepreneur, you're working a job or something, just leaving a legacy, so when you're gone, how important is that? And I want you to encourage people at this particular time of the importance of leaving a legacy.
What I want someone to know is that, hopefully I can leave you well off financially and leave you in a
Mm,
good place. But if I can't, I want you to know that I tried to do it, and I did it with integrity, and I didn't do it in a dishonest way. I didn't cheat. I didn't steal. I took the pain, the punishment, the kick in the back, and I kept going. And I
mm,
want you to do the same if you're going to go ahead and be in business for yourself. But yeah, I mean, it is important. I mean, if I don't leave the money, at least know that I went out here and I tried and I fought, because I'm still fighting every day. I put it like this: I'm still fighting every day, and I still take every day as it's the first day I entered being an entrepreneur. My hunger is still there.
love it, love it, love it. I'm loving this, and I'm loving all the feedback. Um, I got another podcaster here. You might want to have him, Ronnie. You can book him. I'll let you know. I'll give you his info. He's gonna give his info later. He's just put a bunch of fire remarks. Again, just the people that's coming on, and
Well,
we have a question for you too. My question is, what made him want to follow after his father's footsteps? Some children don't see the blessing in that, being a part of family business and doing it with integrity and well.
Well, here's the thing. It was something that was taught to me. It was something that was encouraged. That I was encouraged by. And when I would watch my father and grandfather work, they would always talk about, man, we got this coming up. We got this coming up. And
Mm,
I could see the excitement in my grandfather's eyes when my father would, because we had a family home improvement business, and my dad was independent insurance, and he did real estate and amongst other things. But just the passion that I saw them two talk about when they got in a room together. And
mm,
and and I and now, me being a third generation, when me and my dad have a business meeting and we talk, you should hear our passion and our fire and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Him and I don't sleep too well at night. We got up Sunday morning, had breakfast, had a business meeting at Double T Diner. um I know John Hopkins right now is out there trying to find African American entrepreneurs, and what they can do to help. There may be a meeting coming up for me sometime after December. I'm not sure, but my name got brought up in the topic of the conversation, which would be good for me. But I mean, back, not to get off track, but just the passion that I watched those two have.
mm,
And I tell you a story, and I told it a million times on the podcast, so it's kind of old. But my grandfather, we were painting a house in Dickey Hill, Maryland, and a guy yelled out his name. He said, "Hey, is that you, Mike Norton?" He said, "Yeah, it's me." And my grandfather said, son, when you're doing good business, everybody want to be around you. So that day, instead of painting one home, we went up and painted 2 homes and did more home improvements. So again, remember one thing in life, and quote me on this: good people cross paths and bad folks cross one another. Ask yourself where you want to be at.
Mm. Wow.
You
Love
know,
it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Mike. We're gonna wrap up, but I do want to ask you a question. I want to know if you want to stick around for at the time. If not, you can go ahead and leave some final words for us, and also let everyone know how to reach you. And if, while you're doing that, I can also put that in chat, any links that you have. But
okay.
before I bring my sister Jearlean, I do want to invite you to stay with us. And Jearlean, let me know backstage if you don't mind him staying on. If he can, you can give me a nod. All right. If you have the time, if not, that's fine too.
So on a closing note, it's been a journey. It's brought me the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, but more lows than anything have come about it. But again, I just put my head down and keep pushing.
Wow.
And to anybody that is wants to inquire me, look, man, I'm so easy to get into. I love going into schools talking to children about entrepreneurship, and hopefully I can get into maybe some churches may call me, anything. I'm just looking for any opportunity, not so much to promote my business, but to tell my story and help to encourage. I mean, I don't want no money or anything from it. I just want to keep laying down the work. If I lay down the work and keep laying it down, I know something's going to big is eventually going to turn around and happen for me. So for that, I'm better off reached by phone, 443-991-1216. Give me a call any time of the day. I mean, you can text me, answer, and I'll but like I said on the last show, don't send me no 2-page text messages. Only up to 50 words is all I need.
You must be mad at me.
Yeah. Anything over 50 words, I don't answer. but no, just give.
You don't answer my text.
Anything over 50 words, but yeah,
in chat, Mike. I know I have. I don't have my phone.
Yeah, 443-991-1216, man. And if you definitely need me, for anybody needs me to maybe talk to the youth or just want to hear what I do, I'm all doors. I love doing it. This is something I enjoy doing, and plus I think it's good for the business. I love doing social responsibility, and I love being an entrepreneur. So I mean, I take my duties very seriously.
Love it, love it. Well, sir, like I said, if you want to hang out, she gave you permission. The woman of the next half hour is coming on soon, Jearlean Taylor. If not, thank you for your time.
Man.
I truly appreciate it. And I look forward. Do y'all know he's actually going to co-host for me coming in December? So I want to put that plug out there. So look out for a flyer with his face on it.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good. I'm gonna be the co-host, y'all. We're gonna turn up for real. We're gonna turn up. I'm telling you. I'm telling all questions I'm asking all type of questions. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the most unprofessional podcast. No, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
I'm gonna bring on my next guest. Before I do so, what I want you all to do is just. Again, I'll play this promo again, and then we're going to bring her right on. I don't want to take any more of her time. I know she's busy because she just came back from Africa. She don't think I knew, but I was like, why is she? I hope she can make it back to do a show. But she has just came back from Africa, and I'm excited that she still has taken the time to be with us. So I'm gonna play this promo and bring her right on. Enjoy.
Happens and as it does, and just having that attitude of thankfulness can just make such a difference.
You have to operate in your own grace. It does not matter if 1,000,001 people are doing what you do. God has given you a special grace to be able to walk it out.
This is yet another altar. I have so many altars that I have to remind myself of God. And now when I am weary and I can't take this life anymore, this is another altar that I will remind myself of that I have built up with God.
See, praising him while you're going through the situation shows a level of belief, shows a level of faith, shows that you know that he's going to make a way out of no way. Listen, whatever you're going through right now, I want you to praise him now and believe like it's already done.
Wow, wow, wow. Again, Shenee shares all the upcoming shows, but right now it is 8:31. I'm just gonna say what time it is, and it is time for my big sister. Okay. I have known this phenomenal woman. I'm 43 now, so I think I met you when I was 23, 24. Yeah, it's been 20 years. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Quite some time, and to just watch her journey from Pretty Woman Blues and Pretty Girl Blues. I'm gonna call her. I know you're a woman, but and you're talking about resilience right here. And me, when I see, especially when it comes to women, I love to just not knocking the men, okay, but we as women, sometimes we find ourselves not really supporting each other unless we know us four no more. Okay, so anytime I see any woman doing phenomenal, I just want to highlight. But this right here is special. This is my sister. She's been around when I asked her to do things. When I had the magazine, she was doing like the promo flyers and everything, anything I need. So my sister Jearlean Taylor, everyone.
Hey, hello, Shenee Shares audience. Hello to you. Good evening, everybody.
I first want to ask this, since you just came back to the
I couldn't hear you.
What? You guess it's a lag. How was it in Africa? You coming back, got a nice glow there.
I know. My best friend was like, "Oh my gosh, you got a little bit darker." So my color has not come back yet. But listen, it was 2 weeks in South Africa. Wow. And listen, people ask me, how was it? How did everything go? And I had told one of my best friends, I said, it's really indescribable. I went there for a mission and a purpose, and to lend my voice as an advocate in my community, which is the cancer and ostomy community. I know we'll talk a little bit about that. But it was a blessing. This particular group called SAS, they found me on Instagram. Wow. And they're from South Africa, and I did a presentation through Zoom. It was the height of COVID. And so I did a presentation to their ostomy group, and it was a wonderful presentation, a great interaction, just to talk to the ostomy community from another country. And, we threw it around about me coming, we just kind of put it on the table and talked about it. And, we came back to it again. And then probably like maybe a year or 2 years after, maybe a year, I think, we talked about me coming. And, long story short, God opened that door. I was able to be blessed with some sponsors, so I did not pay for anything. And so, so, I travel, state to state, but this was, of course, my first international trip. And, I have to say, Shenee, like, it really, really was a blessing. Wow. I did speak there, but I also learned a lot as far as being an advocate. And it was a blessing. I'm glad to be home, but I was really, really blessed to go have that opportunity, and how God blessed me on so many different levels, even going there. People was like, oh my gosh, how long was the flight? How long, but it was long. It was long. But again, it was definitely such a blessing. Such a blessing.
Now I've seen a little lagging, but we're going to ignore it and keep going.
Absolutely.
You have a unique story as well, because and that's another reason I was excited when you said, "Oh, I want to be on. I can help you out, Shenee. Let me help you out here." I'm joking. But the fact that let me backtrack. Okay. Before we continue, I don't want to assume that everyone
Everybody
knows
knows.
exactly
Right.
what an oxygen bag is because,
Yeah.
like, what is she talking about? She keeps saying the word. So can you just share
Right.
with us exactly what that
Yeah,
is?
I'll share it really, really briefly, but I was in the backyard playing with my brothers and sisters. My oldest sister noticed that I was just 3. She noticed that I
Mm,
had blood in my clothes. And it wasn't just like a scrape of the knee. Let's put a Band-Aid on it, go back out and play. It was not that. I was bleeding as though, as though I had a menstrual, had a menstrual period. And
mm,
so 3 years old, of course, a great concern. My mom and my dad rushed me to the hospital, days of testing. Every test you had, I had it done. But it was days and they discovered that I had a rare form of cancer. The medical
ooh,
term is rhabdomyosarcoma. In our
mm,
terms, I actually had vaginal cancer. And
wow.
so, yeah, at the age of 3, and because of where the cancer cells were along, because I had chemo, radiation, and surgery, because of the radiation and where the cancer cells were, I was actually had no choice to have ostomy surgery. And people's like, well, what is
Mhm,
an ostomy? So, an ostomy is a surgically opening in your body for the discharge of your waste, whether that be your bowels or whether that be your bladder. And so I actually have 2 ostomies. Most people have one,
mhm,
but I have 2. I have what you call a colostomy and a urostomy.
mm,
So basically, honestly, and I'm very, very open when I talk about this, and so people can get like a kind of a picture. Like I actually poop and pee in a bag,
mhm,
and I always, I show people all the time, like these are the bags that are on my stomach. And
mm,
that's how I go to the bathroom.
mhm,
So nothing functions as normal as far as, female. Yeah, so I have 2 ostomy bags. I've had them since the age of 3 years old. The blessing is a year after my diagnosis and my treatments, I was cancer free.
wow.
So the cancer never came back. Even, growing up, teenager, my adulthood, the cancer never came back. But
Mm,
now you have to deal with a 3-year-old who has 2 ostomy bags, who has to wear them for the rest of her life.
mhm,
Now, when you have ostomy surgery, they're either permanent or you can get them reversed.
mhm,
And just to backtrack a little bit, people get ostomy surgery for whatever medical reason. Mine was cancer. Some people get it because they have ulcerative colitis or they have IBD, different medical reasons. Most people associate it with, people get shot or something like that and they're paralyzed. They have an ostomy bag, but people have it for many different medical reasons. And so that's where my journey started as a 3-year-old, but dealing with a really, really, really serious medical complication, circumstance, situation, however you want to name it. Just having cancer.
yeah,
Doctors didn't even think I was going to survive the cancer
wow.
at that age because it was a rare form of cancer. But then, thank God for healing. And
Mhm,
but then you have to worry about growing up having ostomy bags. So um,
yeah,
quite a journey there, but we're all on a journey, right?
mhm. We
And
definitely are.
yeah, life
And
happens. Life happens to us all.
Pastor Rick said, "You're a miracle." I know I from a talk show. Let's talk about this shit. Favor. We got Pastor Rick again, and Miss Angie Davenport.
So Angie is a very, very close friend of mine. She also has an ostomy. So Angie
Oh,
found me on social media as well. So she
wow.
supports everything I do. I support her. And so, yeah. Hey, Ange.
And I love when I came out saying I had the brain disorder, IIH. And I'm not making this about me, but just when I found someone that, that was going through some of the same stuff, it made it a little bit more easier, because I
Yeah.
could talk to somebody. How has
Yes.
that felt being able to, because I want you to talk about your group as well, because I know you started a group from that also. But how important it is to be able to link up with people who are experiencing that journey similar to you.
Well, for me, being so young, dealing with that type of medical circumstances, like I never went to any support groups back then. My mom, my dad, my siblings, they were my support. And so back then, you go through so much emotions, not just emotionally but psychologically, but physically. You're growing up, teenager, your body's changing, but you still got to deal with, having 2 ostomy bags, going to school, all types of things. And so I never belonged to any support groups, but I had a mother and a father who was a believer. God bless them. Neither one of them are no longer here, but they believed in the power of prayer. They believed in that I would have a normal life. And so that was really, honestly, my support system. My mom just kept instilling in me, Jearlean, you're going to be okay. You're going to have a normal life. You're going to be able to be and live your life to the fullest. But when you're young and you're a teenager and a child, you know how sometimes the parents say one thing and they go in one ear and out the other, So listen, my support was their prayers. And not until, started talking about my story and sharing. And then I started getting to other support groups. There's, let me tell you, there's tons of ostomy support groups on social media. Now, most of them are private because the things that we talk about, everybody's not out sharing like me, some are, but these support groups has helped, but also my foundation and my faith, like for a long time, like that was my support. That's who I leaned on. That's who I lean on now, So as I started sharing about my story, then I started start being involved in other support groups, have my own support group. And so it's been, again, it's been a blessing just to share. And also it's a blessing to talk to people that's walking in your shoes, right?
Yes.
I'm thankful, for family and friends. They sympathize, empathize, but it's nothing like sharing with another person that has an ostomy. And, we can talk about any and everything. Anytime we can sit at dinner and talk about poop, then, so it's a great community. And, I'm inspired by other people that have ostomies too, as well. They inspire me as well as me inspiring them. So, yeah.
Good. And I want to take a teeny turn a little bit, because you also are very unique, because you are a supermodel. I had in my post an international, okay. And before we move forward, I'm going to share something. I made this for you real quick, but I want you to tell us how that even came about. So you all look at Jearlean Taylor. Again, you hear her story to ostomy bags, and then you see this. Now, talk about resilience, okay? And honestly, that's actually how I met her. I was having a moment, and I said, you know what? I am going to kick my confidence up, and I'm going to join this person that I see also talking about. She has her own modeling agency. Let me see what it's all about. Didn't know anything about what you just shared at all. And then when I found out, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Right on here. But talk about that. What said, hey, I'm going to model, even with showing my ostomy bags and all that stuff.
This is the thing, Shenee. I never grew up wanting to be a model. Never. Okay. And it's so crazy, because I was in the mall trying to shop, and a modeling scout came up to me, said, we're having an open house at a modeling company. Would you like to come and just listen? Very familiar with the company. Shout out to Travis Wiki Modeling Studio. That's where I got my start. But they invited me to come just to listen to what they had to say. Talk about modeling, making money, traveling, learning how to model, all that type of stuff. And in my mind, I'm thinking the whole time modeling and having 2 ostomy bags. That's just not going. I was like, I'm listening, but I'm still like, oh, that's not going to work, right? But one thing really quickly, what I decided to do was try something I never did before. I did not want my whole life to focus around my ostomies, right? They're there, they're not going anywhere, they're permanent, but you have a life outside of your circumstances, right? And so I was like, okay, Jearlean, a try beats a fail. How do you know if you can do something if you don't try, right? And so, and a lot of times, a lot of things that you want to do, you got to do it afraid. I was scared. I'm telling you, modeling and 2 ostomy bags, Shenee. I was like, listen, let me just try and see what happens. And girl, I was going to classes every Saturday, and I started progressing. But I think God wanted to show me, listen, I can make all things happen, girl. I mean, come on. You know, and I started progressing, and my instructor saw my potential, and I didn't even tell him in the beginning about anything. And when I finally did, one thing he said to me, and I will never forget, Shenee, he said, your talent speaks for itself. He didn't even talk about, oh, your bags and do I need to do anything, nothing. He saw my talent. And so that's how God works as well. God knew the plans for me before I was in my mom's womb, right? He knew all of this, ups and downs, the cancer, everything, but he's still seeing potential and purpose in me. Now, and I had to, of course, find it for myself. And yes, modeling helped my self-esteem. It really, really did, but it turned into a passion. Right.
Wow.
And it's now almost 24, 25 years later, and I'm still doing it. You know, and so
I remember how you inspired me. Like I said, even before knowing that you were still, you know, and I'm like, man, this woman here, she can walk. I learned that. I don't want to mimic her. Like, I need to learn how to walk, but yeah, and just like I said, and then from there, and I've always put you in the category of one, you know, my big sister. I have my categories.
Yeah.
Again, that's why this whole platform is about resilience. Because like I was just sharing with Mike, like it's so powerful when people can actually see. You don't know who somebody is watching and just got inspired. That may not click a like or just following you. You don't even know it, and that you're just sitting back like in awe.
Yeah, you never know. I always tell people, you know, share your story when you're comfortable sharing. You never know who needs to hear it. You never know.
Ever. So I am now going to give you the floor. Okay, give you a few minutes just to encourage our listeners. Again, take this moment right now to keep sharing. I see, you know, some people going off. If you're hearing this later on, again, we had Michael Norton in the beginning, the CEO of Madison Snacks. He encouraged about legacy and being an entrepreneur and staying the course. And now I'm gonna have my sister jump on, and she's gonna take a few moments and encourage you as well.
Yeah, you know, I just want to say, everybody, that, you know, life happens to us all, whether it's something medically that's going on, maybe something personal, maybe that's going on at home, work, wherever it may be. Life happens to us all. Now people are start saying life is just life, and right, and that is truth. Life does just keep lifing. It does, but a lot of it is how are you going to handle those trials and those tribulations? How are you going to handle when like things are just thrown at you, right? You know, I was so young, I can't imagine what my parents were going through. Just to the doctor say your 3-year-old has a rare form of cancer, and we're not sure that she's gonna survive. But that's all about resilience as well. It's about bouncing back from something that's tragic, right? And so, yes, I believe that I am resilient, but I am also happy that God gives us spiritual resilience. A good friend of mine who preached on this Sunday, She talked about how to handle anxiety. Like God has already equipped us with the things that we need to handle what we call life, right? And that's the things that we have to do. We have to go back. We have to see what works. What is something that worked for you when you went through, some problems or a situation or circumstances. For me, it's prayer. It's getting the word, so that I can survive this thing called life. I still have some ups and downs. Yes, the cancer has never came back, but I still go through emotional things. It's really, really hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything having two ostomies, right? But in a way, it kind of helped save my life. And so what I'm doing is I'm just taking what some people might say is a tragedy, but it's really God has given me triumph. I've triumphed over many, many things in my life, and you can do the same as well. For me, my faith plays a very, very important part of my life. My relationship, not religion, but my relationship with Christ makes a difference. He's able to remove those mountains. He's able to lift me up when I'm feeling down. So what is it for you? What is something that gets you back on track? What is something that helps lift your spirit? What is something that you can just look back? For me, it's reflection. I look back how far I've come. What if you start doing some reflection? Look back how far you have come. Maybe a couple of years ago, you was in a place you never thought. For me, I look back and I can just imagine that 3-year-old in the backyard, or the many, many surgeries that I've gone through, and just relationships and all types of things. But I have to go back to what helps me get back to trusting and believing, and just being in a place of gratefulness and thankfulness. What are some tools that you have that can get you back to that place of thankfulness and gratefulness? Because again, life happens to us all. And so listen, I'm very, very blessed that I'm able to share my testimony and my story. It's a story, it's mine. Nobody can tell it like me, but it doesn't just belong to me. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. And so I share my story. This is a journey that God has given me. There's greater ahead. You got to start changing your mindset. You got to start changing how you're thinking. It won't always be like this. That's a song, part of a song. He's turning around for me, and he's turning it around for you. You just got to trust, and you got to believe, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of your story. Don't be afraid of your journey. And so I just keep encouraging you. Exactly. Change your mindset. Turn that negative into positive. When you wake up in the morning, just say, hey, I'm thankful to see another day. And so, so I just keep encouraging you. And Shenee, listen, not too long ago, recently, Shenee shared her story with me. I was just blown away, because oftentimes we think we go through some stuff. Listen to the person next to you, listen to their story, right? And so I'm so happy that she shared that, because it gave me motivation and inspiration. And I can't imagine, because I haven't gone through what she's gone through. But again, she has a testimony to tell. I do, you do. And so again, I say share it, because you never know what the next person is going through. You could be sitting next to a miracle, as we say in church sometimes. You could be sitting next to a miracle. And so I thank Shenee for allowing me to come on. Yeah, just came back from Africa. That was a blessing to see. God is just opening these doors, because I'm not afraid of my story. And so he said he will pour you out blessings. You won't have room enough to receive. And listen, I'm a witness. I'm telling you, I am a witness. I'm a witness. And it all glory goes to him. There's not me, but it's him. It is him who has opened doors. It is him who blesses me every day and wakes me up and encourages me to, this is the journey that I have for you. Just go the path. And So yeah, bumps in the road still, but that's okay. That's okay. I can handle it more better now, and I know where my help comes from. So that's very, very important. And so again, Shenee, I thank you so very much for allowing me to come on and to share a little bit. And thank you. And I honestly, I thank you for that conversation we had. Um,
Oh,
yeah, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, that was me. And I was like, wow. But now you are here on this platform,
thank
giving other
you.
people a chance to share their story. And so I thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And before I wrap everything up, Jearlean, please, please, please. And wait a minute, before we go, one thing you said is changing our mindset. I have to bring
Yeah.
this up. And I
Yeah.
think that is so key because
Hmm.
anybody who is talking about resilience, there has to be a mindset change.
Oh, you
Okay.
have to.
You have to. And I learned that the hard way, just a lot of self-sabotaging and thinking, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, all
Hmm.
that. That my
Hmm.
mindset had to change until I got to the point where, no, I am worthy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good enough. I am more than a conqueror. Even though I knew that reading scriptures and stuff, it was
Right.
still playing in my head that I had to make
Yep.
that choice to change my
Hmm.
mindset. And a lot of times we don't understand. And I always talk about this all the time that we have choices. So choose
Hmm.
to change your mindset. Okay.
Yeah.
Because nobody
You gotta renew
that
your
but
mind
you.
every day sometimes. Renew your
Oh yeah.
mind every day. And if it takes that, then do that.
That's Bible. That's not even from her. God
Right,
said
exactly. Right.
he, he made us, so he knew that stuff was going to enter our mind. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
y'all every single day. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sister. I would love to have you on again. Even like Mike's gonna come and co-host. So hey, you want to help
Hey,
co-host?
I could co-host. Yes, yes, I surely can.
Let me know. Again, I'm lining people up to even co-host. So I'm just giving people opportunity to help me out over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all right. That's all right. Yes,
Like
no
it's
problem at
all about
all.
sharing the platform. So that's my whole
Yeah,
thing. But thank you again, sis. I
you're
am now.
welcome.
Thank you. You all please contact Jearlean Taylor. I put her link tree and
Mhm.
make it a little easier for you all. It's also in the chat. I also want you all to be looking out for our next episode, which is next week. And we will have none other than Pastor Rissa. And she's going to get me. She said, stop saying that. She's a pastor to me. But again, next week, same time, 8 p.m., Larissa Oxner and Liana Torres. Two, again, phenomenal individuals, phenomenal women who are going to share their story of resilience. So again, my name is Shenee Woodson. I am here with Shenee Shares, and I want to leave you all with this. Resiliency is key. Have an awesome evening.